I could have thrown the paper mache sculpture into a bucket of water, but that's not usually what happens. Usually someone cleans it using a wet cloth. The point that I'm making with my little game is that in time, water always wins. But the results of this water experiment seriously surprised me. What wins in the end? Water. It's slow, but it always wins. I'm working with materials that don't last, except they do. I'm Diane van der Zanden, and I live in the dry subtropics in Colima, Mexico. It's called dry because it only rains for 5 months of the year. And that 5 months has caused me to up my paper mache game. This is what it looks like for a lot of the time. The girls don't particularly like it. First big storm of the season. This is not a very big storm for us. Oh, all the little flowers are rolled up. And look how fast the peanut came back. And it's probably going to rain all day, all night. Oh, and there's a bird nest here. Right here, right in front of our house. We're trying to figure out what kind of a bird it is. Right where the wood creeper was creeping the other day. This is the original Pride using craft paper and Yes Paste. It turned out that Yes Paste attracts a lot of water during the rainy season, and the sculpture ended up like a sponge. I could fix that by drying it in the warming cabinet, putting polyurethane on the inside and the outside, but I decided instead that I wanted to use this sculpture to do a little experiment and see how long it would take to dissolve in the rain. By the time you're seeing this, it had already been out in the rain for about 16 hours.
Oh, thank you.
I had been putting it
Thank you.
out in the rain and bringing it back in when it wasn't raining or when I left. The weather is coming from that direction, more or less Yucatan. I forgot to put Pride in the warming cabinet and came back out. When I made the video of the cast of the rock with paper, I was trying to make a point that you can make a cast of anything with paper. And I was so excited about that because paper is so strong and will last lifetimes if it's kept well and doesn't get wet. I learned about cutting the paper. I don't like the sharpness of cut paper. I like the rustic feeling of the little paper pieces that are ripped. So it's rare for me to use scissors. The waiter was wearing a raincoat, but the pizza was dry. I had just gotten off my crutches, so Rogelio was being very careful with me.
Wait for me here.
Okay,
I'm gonna pick you up right here.
okay. This isn't even a big storm for Colima. I'm saying here, this is not a good idea. And what surprised me in the end is that it took about 60 hours of rain to get to this point. I was taking the sculpture in when it wasn't raining, but it was literally 60 hours. Unfortunately, I didn't tell Alan about my little experiment, and he came and cleaned up the paper mache and the threaded rod at this point.